The
And
show?
I'm gonna actually record this one.
Are you jumping to a different... Ooh.
This episode's gonna be recorded. Ooh.
Amazing how that happens.
Look out, world. We're going to record
We're
this
going to be
one.
on the interwebs. With a recording.
It's a fancy voice you got there, Ben.
Yes, I try. It's my fanciest. That's why I have this monocle on. And a top hat, good sir.
Look at you with the fancy voice. Man, I've been asleep basically since I got home.
I'm not surprised. You tend to do that.
Oh, man.
We're recording a show today. I need to take a 4-hour nap.
I do. This week has caught up to me. I kept saying, oh, I'll sleep this day. I'll sleep this day. I'll sleep this day.
Sleep when you're dead.
That's what it was fast approaching. Today at work, I had to wait for a process to run. And I'm sitting there. And I just all of a sudden do that like head jerk thing. Because all I could do was sit there and wait for something. So I'm just staring at a computer screen. And
it's really bad when that happens when you're driving.
It usually doesn't happen to me when I'm driving.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, I'm a little terrified now.
When do you drive? I usually drive around the same exact time, right next to you.
No. Anyway, it's Thursday. This feels weird. This feels like I shouldn't go to work tomorrow.
Tell me about it. Yeah, me, Nevermore, both of us were just like, oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
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 Well, you want to do an actual show?
We should probably do an actual show, one that we record and put on the internet.
Yes, okay. Well, I'm going to stop my recording because it's the pre-show, which, since it's just the two of us, there's probably going to be no pre-show stuff that I put on there because I tend not to.
I know, we don't have very good pre-show. We don't have a good podcast.
Like, how you doing?
Rapport.
I'm doing good.
We're not going to invite each other to the show next week.
No, it doesn't happen.
Because the rapport was not good.
No, not good.
They had nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Faces will be coming. Jackson AI? Jackson I?
Oh, I accidentally read that as I'm an unusual podcast listener.
Oh.
I've
arrived for faces. And
I turned the
faces
sound
alone. I promise you it doesn't get better with faces, though.
No, if anything, it might get worse.
I can only speak for my half, and I will guarantee that it does. So
I don't know.
Okay. Great.
Listen to me breathe.
Podcasting. Okay.
All right.
Are you gonna? Who starts? Do you start? Do I start? Who starts?
I'm having a hard time understanding you with all the facial
apparatus.
Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 251. My name is Ben Baumhofer. It is a very not normal night for us to actually be recording, so hey, cool. Let's do this anyway. With me, as always, this week is my good friend John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hi, Ben. I'm happy to be here. It feels weird.
Yes, it does.
Like putting on shoes that don't belong to you. It doesn't fit right. It's not natural. And you've got serious questions now about the past ownership and the future of your feet now that you're in them.
Well, let's put it this way. We're walking a mile in another podcast's shoes.
Which podcast?
One that would normally record on a Thursday, but is not online right now.
Oh, okay. Well, sweet. We took their spot.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's how that works, right?
Yeah.
So how you doing, John?
I'm doing pretty well. I think this show could be a train wreck. I'm going to just say it right up front. We're recording on a different night. The whole chi of the room has been thrown off, and I've been sleeping for the past couple hours, and now I'm awake. I'm groggy.
I mean, we don't have the normal, wake you up and take you out to dinner because, you need to be awake for the show. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious to see how this is actually going to play out.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're gonna see. But Ben, you had an interesting thing that you asked me during the pre-show, And I say,
Yes.
why don't we get right down to it? Let's do something that I don't think will actually work, but I think will still be fun. And that
Okay.
is
Well, hey, thanks for like shooting me down. Oh, that's not gonna work.
no, 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 no. I just mean that this isn't. Do you remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer designs a car and he puts on all the things that he thinks is super important, and then it ultimately ends up like just ugly as sin?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we're going to do today. We are going to build Homer's car.
Okay.
I don't think, as its whole, what we're going to build is going to be good. But I think it's going to mean we're going to talk about a lot of great things in World of Warcraft, and it's going to be fun. And so
Okay.
what we're going to do is we're going to go from, original WoW to now,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to pick out the best pieces of every expansion to form some sort of super expansion.
Okay. So it's gonna be a crazy Homer-fied version of Voltron.
Uh-huh.
Okay. By the way, the title already for this episode is gonna be called The Homer.
The Homer. Great.
The Homer.
Great.
So perfect. Well, first of all, we need fins because
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, no. So the whole concept behind this is we have Battle for Azeroth coming. We don't really know a whole ton about what's going to be happening with it yet. And I started thinking, I'm like, man, this has been a really great expansion. There's been some awesome things in it. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? Other expansions have had really awesome things too. So yeah, let's start plugging.
Yeah. So are we going to build our separate, or are we going to each take two things and make a collective, or
Oh, I think we need to make a collective because I mean, if you look at it this way, we are taking two different play styles
okay.
and making the best expansion.
Okay.
And I mean, we don't need to take like each pick one thing from each expansion. Maybe, if there's a couple things, we can throw it in there.
Sure.
So, okay.
All right, well, let's get right down to original WoW. Why don't you kick it off? What do you think is the most important element from original WoW that you think would need to be a part of a new expansion?
Me playing vanilla WoW.
That's right. This wasn't a big
But
long I played in vanilla like joke. I kind of forgot, but
well, let's put it this way. I did actually level from 1 to 60, so I kind of played vanilla WoW,
yeah, I
but
mean, you
I
started
mean,
in Burning Crusade. It's not like, I mean, you've seen the world as it was, and
exactly. Exactly. But I mean, the thing is I wasn't there as the iterations happened.
right.
So yeah, I can't exactly kind of go with some of that stuff in it. But what I will say is that I love the idea of like, and this is going to sound weird,
Okay.
and this is a very, very basic thing, but something that I love. Because as you know, for the longest time I played a mage.
Yep.
And then anytime I played an alt, I had this problem. And as a mage, you get teleports and portals and you can, go places and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I loved was the design of, the taxis from one place to another and all the different kind of shortcuts that you can get to places, like say the deep run tram, things like that. So the first thing that I want to put in this is something practical, and it's going to be a lot of really cool, fun, and unique transportation options.
That's okay.
I know it's not exactly like something flashy or awesome or anything like that, but the first time I ever went on the Deep Run tram, it was mind-blowingly cool for me. I'm just like, oh, this is really awesome. This is fantastic. I'm underwater for a little bit. And for someone who, up until level 40 didn't have a mount or anything, being able to get somewhere in a good, speedy process, without being all, oh, well, I'm just going to drop my very, very hard earned silver on a flight path. The idea of it is kind of cool to me.
It's interesting. Now I think we need to make separate expansions. I don't want to be a part of your expansion. No,
Oh.
I do. I think the deep run tram is super cool, and I'm with you 100% on that. It's just there's a thing in MMOs that I really like, and there's a thing in MMOs that we eventually get to that I really dislike, and that is the notion of, I think back to EverQuest days. This is going way back. And there used to
Back
be
in
a
the day.
thing called the Kinos Freeport Run. And that was
Mm-hmm.
basically, I want to go from Kinos to Freeport or Freeport to Kinos.
Yeah.
Basically, if you imagine for those who didn't play, they were cities on opposite ends of the continent from each other. And there were no flight paths in EverQuest or anything like that. There were druid teleports that you could do at higher levels, but you had to know somebody who could do it, and you typically had to pay them to do it. So frequently what you would have to do, and there weren't mounts, is you would just have to run from one city to the other. And it meant going through a bunch of zones that were very dangerous and
Mm-hmm.
frequently above your level. And some of them even had special rules, like one of the zones was more dangerous at night than it was at day. And
Okay.
another thing to keep in mind, and this is just always the truth when you come back to EverQuest, is a lot of the stuff that we have today, we didn't have then. There wasn't a map. You couldn't hit M and say, okay, how close am I? You had to have somebody tell you, here's how you get there. You have to follow this beach till you get to a bridge. Then you have to cross the bridge. Then you have to take this road. Then you have to take this. Then, like, you had to have someone explain to you how to get from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a very long time to do this run, even with speed increases. And it was dangerous and it was scary and it was frightening, and it made the world feel so exciting because you really didn't know what to expect. And eventually, like with most MMOs, the world got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the need to get from point A to point B faster grew. And eventually it became this thing where to get from point A to point B, it wasn't about this cool run across the world. It was, okay, teleport to here, then you're going to take this, and that'll teleport you down to here, and then you go here, which will have another way to teleport over to here, and then you're there. Um, and while it's cool to have a neat way to navigate, and I even like it in WoW now when I sit down and I'm like, oh, I got to get to a weird place. All right, well, I could take this portal here, and if I take this portal to here, then that'll take me to here. Then I can go here, then I can catch a flight path to here, and then I'm here. Perfect. Nailed it. I navigated, and it feels kind of cool, and it feels kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about the big, larger world that isn't easily traversed that I really, really like. And I actually, and I'm not even kidding, I'm not doing this just to be counter to you, that was going to be one of my things from vanilla that I wished was in the game was
Well, let me expand upon it a little bit.
okay.
It's one of those things where it's like you don't have access to it right away, just like you don't have access to a mount right away in World of Warcraft. So even then, it's something that you need to work towards. So you still get that vast world, that experience
Right.
and stuff, but being able to see like a really cool, unique kind of thing, just and it's just like from point A to point B for like one thing, or kind of a couple maybe scattered around. Like picture like a deep run tram from again from Ironforge to Stormwind or something, and then maybe one on the other continent, and it just skips like a zone or two or something like that. But just you have something kind of cool like that's there, so that you have the ability to cross stuff. Because as cool as exploring and running is and everything, like I remember when you took me from, I don't even remember, but I know that we went through, I can't think of the place that Desolate Waste or what, I can't remember the freaking name of that zone now.
In WoW?
Yeah, it now has the oasis in the middle.
Desolus, I think.
Desolate, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so I was close. Anyways, so like you had to take me through there for some reason. I don't even remember where we were going or anything. And I mean, it was a journey, and like stuff like that is fun, and I enjoy that. But in order to do that, we had to take a ship, we had to do this, we had to do that, and everything. And you took me, I think, basically you were getting me from Kalimdor to Eastern Kingdoms, because you're like, hey, Eastern Kingdoms is better, level here. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And like that kind of stuff, yes, I want that. But as you progress through the game, I don't want to have to make that journey every single time I'm playing through the game.
Right.
That's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
and I think that's what goes behind the notion of, hey, you can't fly
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning. You can only ride on the ground. but then at a certain point flying gets unlocked. I think
Hmm.
Blizzard kind of recognizes that too at a certain point of, oh, we got to start here, but then, all right, you've made it this far. Let's give you a quick way to get around and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. I think
I want more deep run trams. How's that?
you want a deep run tram. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
New expansion's going to have a deep run tram. And I think to kind of put mine in a more, like, an easier feature, like, thing, I want an interesting, I want a big world to explore.
Okay.
So
So none of this like, hey, here's 5 new expansions or 5 new zones.
yeah,
You want like a whole world.
I guess it's so hard for me to. Oh, you know what? Scratch that. I'm taking something different.
Oh. Ooh.
Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I want from Classic WoW. I want something every time I level.
Okay. Okay.
That was the best part of Classic WoW and stayed true for a little while, but it was every time you leveled, you got something. And they have tried to maintain that over time, and it has just completely fallen off a cliff. It's gone.
So, okay. So what we got was, more spell levels in case you're new-ish to WoW. So like I'm a mage, I have Fireball, but I start off with level 1 Fireball. At level 6, I might get level 2 Fireball.
Right.
Like that sort of thing, and that sort of progression. And the thing is, you had to pay for each new level of spell in order to be able to access it and do it and stuff like that. And since money was kind of, a little hard to come by, sometimes you had to make decisions of like, oh, well, you know what? I don't use Ice Bolt that much because I'm, trying to spec mostly into fire, so I cannot buy that one right now. And, just different things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you looking for something kind of along, not necessarily paying for it, but like leveling up certain types of spells? Are you looking for abilities? Like what are you looking for your every level thing?
I genuinely don't care all that much as long as it feels like I'm getting something from
Okay.
every level, because that was the thing is, yeah, sometimes you got kind of a whammy of a level. It's like, oh, I leveled. I can go learn Fireball too, for example.
Yay.
Like, all right. And it does feel good that stuff's automatic now. But as a result, it's also invisible. Another thing was, it used to be with the talent system that we had in the past, there were a lot of talent points you put into it.
Yeah.
And so once you got to, I think it was level 10, you unlocked your first talent point, and then every other level you got an additional talent point, which gives you an idea of how much you were putting into the trees. And while I think what they've done with talents, and I'm not trying to say the decisions they've made have been necessarily bad, that was a lot more stuff that they have taken out of leveling. And now I feel like the unlocks that I get while I'm leveling up a new toon are frequently like, you can go to a new dungeon now.
Yeah, that's kind of... Okay, well... Okay, and I'm really trying to think back, and I've just gone through and leveled a whole bunch of alts, but we didn't get anything for leveling. Everything was in our artifact weapon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we got anything in this leveling up.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure we
Did
didn't.
we get a new talent?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we didn't, actually, now that I think about it. But, I mean, so, okay, the way that they implemented the artifact weapons and everything kind of changed the perspective on that. So, yeah, we got, artifact power and everything like that, which is great. Like, absolutely great. So, yay. We were able to get new, talents and abilities and stuff that way. It was just kind of different in that sense.
Yeah.
But given that we don't have a talent system like we used to, are you proposing that we go back to something either maybe actually have specific levels of, okay, I'm level 1, I have Fireball 1. I'm level 5, Fireball gets a boost, and you actually see like the cast time go down and the damage go up or something like that?
I mean, I think if it were actually up to me and I was like in there and willing to just like start burning things down and being like, I'm taking WoW with me. I would probably either completely remove inscription, but I realize that's kind of a dangerous road to go down when you tell a bunch of people,
Well,
hey,
John,
your trade skills gone.
This is our expansion.
No, that's true. Trade skills are gone. That's the BlizzCon slide. Trade skills gone.
I'm with you on that. Trade skills gone.
I
No
don't
crafting.
I don't like them. That would make people crazy.
Yes, it would. But again, our expansion.
Yeah, we get to decide.
This is the Homer.
This is yes, people now are 100% on board with the notion of this being the Homer. But how will I make gold? I don't know. Who cares? You'll buy WoW tokens. That's what you'll do now.
You just get gold. It happens.
I but to me, like, I think Inscription is in a weird place right now. I already think it's kind of in a I think it's in a dumb state. Like, I'm a person who really likes that trade skill for some reason, and even I'm like, I can't justify this.
Well, the stuff that you get from it is really cool.
And incredibly hard to use and understand where it is and understand the effect it's having and all of that. So I would change Inscription fundamentally, and I would say one of the things... No, I think I'd keep it in this case. But... I would say one of the things that you unlock, and it's another way that you can feel like you're getting cool things, is maybe those alternate colors, alternate functions, alternate whatever that you unlock would be unlocks that you could get and slot in and learn as you're leveling up.
So like maybe okay, so we have the skill tree and everything, but your ability book, like you click on an ability and then maybe an extra bit opens up, and then that's where you have the different runes, or I guess what you call it, where you can kind of choose one per, say, ability or spell or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, I want to go back to the days of leveling up meaning something. Like, it feels like it has kind of hit a level where you level up so that the numbers go higher.
And that level is 100.
Yeah, we should have stopped at 100. I'm still mad that prediction never came true, is what it ultimately comes down to. I'm like, man, now they got to go to at least 150 before they cut it off again.
Well, it's funny because they could have actually kind of gone that way with the artifact weapons.
I think so. I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, except then we would need some sort of progression from that point on other than levels.
Mm-hmm. You know what they could technically do? Like, I don't think they're going to do this, but this would be a real messed up thing to do. So we unlocked a lot of new abilities and things we can do through our artifact weapon, and we know they're going bye-bye. What if leveling in the next expansion is just reacquiring all those skills we had through our artifact weapons?
I would hate that
so
like, much, John.
Hey, guys, you can do it again.
Except this time we have something called Azurites.
You're just sitting there going, it was really cool the way I did those things. I should be able to do them now. Got it.
I'll just go back to my trainer at my order hall, and then once I hit a level, I'll learn a new addition to something that I already know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Side note here, I'm going to have such a hard time with some of those abilities being gone. Like, I'm getting very used to being able to pop revival and have a dragon appear and then have it be like this extra awesome great thing, as opposed to just, people get some health back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be sad, John. I really like my artifact weapon.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's really good.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Who knows? I think they have to find some way to give us that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. But whatever. Anyways, no, I'm with you on that. Giving something, heck, whether it be like, I mean, we could throw your favorite, hey, why can't they give us this into the mix too? Like, give us titles for certain levels.
Yeah. I mean, anything. I think titles should be unlocked for doing, you helped a pig. Like, you are now so-and-so friend of the pigs. Like, titles should just pop up for everything you do. Like, it's the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing.
Auction house purveyor.
I continue to have no idea how much effort and work putting a new title into WoW is, and I'm going to continue to bang the drum of it's the easiest thing. Maybe that's what I'll do. This BlizzCon, if I get an opportunity to put my foot in my mouth with WoW developers again like last year, my thing will be like, hey guys, I have a thing I always say, and I just want to find out if it's true or not. Giving new titles to players in the game, it's the easiest thing in the world, right?
Well, actually, the easiest thing is to add new mounts to the game.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Well,
Well, then why don't you do more of that?
We
No.
still need new titles. So, all
I'm
right.
sorry. I just love the idea of just, hey, give me a title. How about asshole?
Aw. Well, I'm not going to use it, but I'm happy to have collected it.
Okay, Mr. Gullible. Hey, I don't like that one either.
I don't like that one either. I don't use that. Okay, I think this next one's going to be hard.
For a Burning Crusade?
Yes.
Oh, I already know what I
Oh,
want.
oh, man, look at you. All right, what was your feature in Burning Crusade?
Well, considering I came in Burning Crusade and this thing kind of happened pretty much right when I started, is the Isle of Kildonis.
You want the Isle of Kildonis back.
Yes. Not the exact Isle, but I like the fact that, I mean, as you kind of go through, and this is my first experience with like how cool a rep could actually be. So, you do the dailies there and everything, and then you have bombing runs. Oh, we need bombing runs. That's what we need.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh my gosh,
I don't
we need
remember
so many
what
bombing runs.
I don't remember what it was, but there was something in Legion where all of a sudden I did a bombing run and it blew my mind. I was like, it's been forever since I've done one of these.
I bet you in Stormheim when you're on the dragon.
Oh yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I haven't done a bombing run in ages. This is great.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, we need bombing. Like we're both in agreement. We just need bombing runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So we need bombing runs, but the Isle of Kildonis was something that was really cool. When I got to max level, that's how I made gold, which was great. And I mean, I like World Quest. We're not to Legion yet, but some place that has, daily content that you can do when you're max level, albeit, with a little bit more variety than what they had would be great. But watching your rep go up was really cool in that. In fact, when you got to Exalted, you had the honor of paying 1,000 gold to get a title.
That's right. 1,000 gold title. That's what it takes.
Exactly. It's just 1,000 gold.
I helped build that statue. Heck yeah,
so
I want
did
my
I.
title.
But what's even better is, now I wasn't there when we were actually unlocking stuff, but didn't you actually unlock stuff as the time progressed through the expansion?
Yeah, you started with like 2 dailies you could do a day, and it was more than that, but like it was like one little room, and then you branched out and you took over more and more of the island, and it unlocked more dailies and more dailies and more dailies, and
yeah,
it unlocked new perks and new things.
Okay, so something like that, not in the crappy way that Throne of Thunder was, just because that whole island sucked. But that there, but on top of that, having the NPCs notice you as you go through and say like, oh, hey, it's so-and-so, and like saluting you and stuff like that. That is always the tiny little touch that I love in World of Warcraft. When people actually know who you are by your reputation alone. That's something that I find really cool. So I want that, as well as Kael'thas back in some form.
And he's just ahead.
Exactly. Mecha Kael'thas. Everybody needs that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's one of the things that I did. I mean, granted, it was my first character, and I needed gold for flying and all that stuff, and having access to daily content was something that I really enjoyed. Way back in Burning Crusade, it's something that I can log in, I can run my dailies, I can get a certain amount of gold. It was really cool, and it made me really feel like I was part of the world because I was helping out this cause and raising my level. Or my rep with them and everything. And, it felt meaningful as opposed to just like some reps that are out there that are just like, oh, well, it's a rep and you get exalted with it. Like right now on the, whatever our ship is, how there's the 2 different reps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get why there's 2 different reps. Like one's shadow, one's light. Okay, cool.
I know. Why do you guys exist?
Yeah, it's like, oh well, I have a rune now that I can augment rune that I never goes away. Yay!
It's so they can unlock different heroic races, Ben.
Oh,
or whatever they're called.
Allied races.
Allied races.
Oh, okay. Well, no, but seriously, it's like going back to say Wrath of the Lich King. I know I'm kind of jumping around in here and stuff, but like getting exalted with like the Tonka or something would be really cool. But you don't really exactly do that with them. But like getting exalted with the dragons was cool. And I mean, just some sort of rep that's meaningful again. And I
So
mean,
yours,
would probably argue that other expansions have been meaningful. It just, I don't know. I feel like the most helpful that I've ever been with, like, say, the Shattered Sun offensive.
so you want what you're taking isn't dailies. It's dailies and a rep tied to it that feels good, the good one.
Yeah, and it's like not exactly dailies, but just some sort of daily content that's available for me to do to help out in a good way, and not just a go kill 5 things.
Okay. I'm gonna. This is gonna be a bit obscure, but I'm really having a hard time with Burning Crusade. I think it's a good
I mean,
expansion.
other than bombing runs.
Other than bombing
Okay,
runs,
just making sure.
it's a great expansion as a whole, but I just feel like it was kind of the foundation for what WoW was going to be to then branch off from.
Yeah,
So one of the things I'm gonna say, and like I said, it's a bit weird and obscure, is I'm gonna say the mystery. Like Burning Crusade feels like the last time that WoW felt incredibly mysterious as I was
terribly
leveling.
mysterious.
Terribly. As you were going through, you would just find weird quests and you would go off the beaten path and there would be something there that you didn't expect. And
Mhm.
I still remember the first time I ran into the mana bomb and that whole quest line, and like
Oh, that was a cool quest line.
that felt really unexpected. Like I know that they put her right on the path to Shatrath, but even discovering Shatrath felt like a cool thing. Like I don't remember getting a quest that said, "Hey, go up over this ridge because you need to go to Shatrath." Like
Yeah, I
I went
remember. It's
over
like
there
I
and
got there,
was
and there's like, oh, there's a city, and oh crap, there's Draenei. I'm gonna die.
yeah, I was terrified to go into Shatrath. Um, so I was just like, what is this? Oh, I can go in here. Oh, this place is awesome.
Hmm.
Like that was sort of the last time that WoW really had that same level of mystery. And
Yeah,
so I want whatever this, and I know some of it's hard because data mining and all that is so prevalent now, and it
I
wasn't back
kind of,
then.
I really wish it wasn't. I mean, it's nice knowing stuff, and yeah, I know we're a WoW show and we're supposed to know everything,
Hmm.
which we don't. But it's, I mean, I kind of wish that there were still some prizes out there for everyone.
Yeah, it's it's tough. Like I always want to follow what the big story is, but
Mhm.
that seems to be the stuff they try to keep secret. And then the thing that they are more than happy to tell you about nowadays is like, oh, well, this is going to be the city that you level in. Like, this is the
Yeah.
Shatrath equivalent. Like, nowadays, if they were talking about Burning Crusade, they'd be like, there's a big city named Shatrath, and you're going to go there, and it's going to be awesome, and everybody's going to like you. You'd be like, oh,
Okay,
okay.
I guess I'm going there at this level.
Um, so I like that. Another thing I'll throw in there as a bonus um, is the split reps. The
Mm,
Aldor and the Scryers was a neat concept,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I liked that. And I think that actually ties in a little bit to what you said, because part of what made the Shattered Sun offensive so good was it was this tiny unification of these factions that didn't really get along all that well. It was like the Horde versus Alliance, but it was new and fresh because they had different names. And
and you could be in either of them. It didn't matter what you were.
yeah,
So you can actually be
although
an Aldor and hang out with like Horde and Alliance together. Although no one ever chose the Aldor because
like the reality is still like if you were an Aldor blood elf, you were still an asshole.
yeah, pretty much. So
Look, just
okay,
like if you were a
honestly,
Draenei scryer, you were also an asshole. Like, let's be fair to both sides, but like maybe find a different way to differentiate the factions than a racial divide, because there was this element of like if you saw Draenei up on the scryers thing, you would just be like,
why aren't they dead yet?
I'm gonna just push them off the side.
Okay, question for you though. Did you ever have a character who was an Aldor?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I mean
I'm impressed.
it was like one of them, and it was just for like
Let's see what happens.
I don't know if I ever hit exalted. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I never did. I tried and I'm just like, I've outleveled this area now.
I got up there and it just felt wrong. It's just like this is the wrong place for me to be.
It's like, wow, everything's all spread out. I don't know what's going on. Although I do have to say that I don't remember exactly when it happened, but in the Scryer Rise, where you go and turn in like the tier 4 and 5 pieces, when they added the bookshelves, I'm like, hey, cool books.
Yeah. Um, it's funny because it was very much a little microcosm of Horde and Alliance. You had
Hmm.
the Scryers, which are the, hey, we used to be bad guys, but we realized the error of our ways, and now we're trying to be good guys, but we're getting judged for trying to be good guys, even though we used to be bad guys. Like, that sort of underdog, which feels like the Horde. And with the Aldor, you had the, hey, we've always been good, we're doing good things, by the light, we're holy, we're great, look at us, we're going to pat ourselves on the back.
So like Draenei.
Yeah, Draenei and Alliance stuff. Um, but yeah, it was. I think it was an interesting concept that could be turned into something cooler. I don't think it
Yeah.
was great in Burning Crusade, but I think it was a neat idea in Burning
Well,
Crusade.
it was a lot more fun in Wrath of the Lich King when you went with either the Frenzy Heart or the Oracles.
Oh, that's right. But I probably will find something better from Wrath of the Lich
Oh no, no,
King.
no. This is from Burning Crusade. I'm just showing you
So,
that because I've never ever gotten the double agents or whatever the mercenary achievement. I will
mhm.
not get that because the oracles are the right side.
I mean, how do you betray the oracles? I don't feel like they
I
solved the
know.
problem of there being a better side than the other. The oracles were so good.
I know. It's so great. Uh,
All right. Well,
yeah.
speaking of Lich King,
John, what do you want to pull from Lich King?
Ulduar.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, just
Oh, just Ulduar.
Ulduar. Yeah,
Okay, so this new expansion is gonna have Ulduar in
yeah.
it.
It's the raid, and it
Okay, the
goes.
same exact raid.
It yes, the same exact raid, and it gets more difficult every time there's a new patch. There's no new raid. It just becomes harder.
Same bosses, same mechanics, everything.
Eventually, you don't have to do the Flame Leviathan.
Mimron's just all like, "Oh, you broke it again. I just stopped making it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just like, we're
Oh,
done.
okay.
Actually, no, that Flame Leviathan's the only fight that's changed. They put super rockets on all those cars, and you just drive through all of the pillars at like super high speed to destroy them.
That's not bad. So, okay, what about Ulduar is the big drawing
I
like
don't think this is
yeah.
actually my answer. I
Oh,
think I
okay.
think I should probably say raids like Ulduar, which
Oh,
I feel like they've
okay.
continued to try to do. I don't actually. Why am I even saying raids? I don't even raid
I
anymore.
know. That's why I'm like, why? This is our expansion. We don't need to have raids in it at all.
I don't know. Lich King just felt so good. It's such a good expansion. Like, and I know some of it is time and place sort of thing, but
Mhm.
like, I could get in, I could do a dungeon. I knew it would take me about 30 minutes to do a dungeon, and I knew I would get something of value out of it. Like, their desire to make dungeons continually relevant through Mythic Plus is admirable, but I hate Mythic Plus dungeons so
So,
much.
would you say that you want what is it like the valor points back?
I guess. I mean, like to me, I what I liked is I knew that I could log into WoW. I could spend 30 minutes playing with other people, which normally I don't want to do.
I know you never want to do that.
But in Lich King, I did because it was like, you know what? For 30 minutes, we can do this thing. It's gonna be fun-ish. It's gonna be like a challenge, but not a big challenge. Like
Yeah.
you knew it was gonna take about 30 minutes, and you would get value out of it.
Unless you
And
got um shoot, what's the place that starts with the G?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. It's a dungeon that starts with a G. It's
unless,
in
unless you got the dungeon that started with a G.
yeah,
Are you talking
that
about
place.
Gundrak?
Yeah, Gundrak. Unless you got Gundrak, that's the one that takes forever.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's been a long time since I've ran through there, but um, anyway, I don't know. I just maybe it's a reflection of how my life as a player has changed,
Hmm.
but being able to get into WoW and to be able to quickly get into doing little microcosms of content and having that still feel rewarding, to me, is key in this game. I don't feel like I should have to be a raider to still feel relevant in the game. And I feel like even now, even still, I feel like they've done a good job of keeping me caught up. Like, I feel like I could run with you guys, because if I look at my item level, it's probably not that much lower than what you guys have running.
I wouldn't think so.
I couldn't dive into probably heroics and mythics, sure, but
heck, we couldn't.
But I could at least get in with you guys. So I don't want to sound like I'm saying they're doing a bad job, because obviously I'm not raiding and I'm still able to get into that.
How about this? Let's boil it down to, you want the ability to feel relevant throughout the expansion.
I don't know if it was. I don't even know if it was that. Here, why don't you go while I try and figure out what the hell I'm trying to say?
Okay. Well, all that time I was thinking about what you were talking about, and I haven't really thought of one.
Oh, good.
So,
okay. Here's one for sure that's a small one.
Okay.
Major events like Wrathgate.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna tack onto that a really good pre-expansion event.
Yes, although that might be what I take for Legion.
Okay, that's fine. Then we'll share that for over the course of every expansion, because some of them had good ones, some of them didn't. So that's a freebie.
Okay.
A good pre-expansion event is what we're looking for. Something that adds story, that adds context and content, and is really cool and fun.
All right.
Yeah, okay. So from Lich King, I would say one of the things that I actually really enjoyed, first, one of the things that I don't want is the group finder. So I know that's a little weird.
The thing I like the most.
No. And here's the thing. I just want to be able to run it with, like, people I know. So, okay. This isn't going to work at all. So let's just say...
we have now learned what it's like to be Blizzard, as we literally sit here and be like, I want this, and I'm like, you are out of your damn mind. That's one of the best parts of the expansion.
No. So here's the thing. It is one of the best parts of the expansion. I want it to... Yeah, so there's no way I'm going to get what I want on this. But you remember at the beginning of the expansion when you, me, and 3 other of our friends were running dungeons together and, like, experimenting on them and seeing the cool stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I want that.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I want.
I mean, like, that's the thing is but here's the thing. You can't put that as a feature.
I know.
And the problem...
This is just me saying I really enjoyed spending that time with you, and it was a lot of fun. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but that's all I'm saying. My point, Ben.
I'm not talking about the actual expansion right now.
Because I'm
just
talking about
that I have
different.
Fun.
Bench. So,
don't shoot
what
me.
we're talking about is we're talking about a difference in, like, lifestyle from then versus now.
Yeah.
Which you can't put as a feture in an expansion.
I know.
I wish they could.
I agree.
I wish I could buy a WoW expansion where they're like, hey, don't worry about money. We got you covered. You just play WoW and you have a good time.
Oh my gosh. No, okay. Can that be my feature? You buy into it, and then that's just, and your friends will be there, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
that's the feature I want, John.
Many hours in a day, you can just play WoW. You don't have to worry about anything. Here's summer vacation again. Remember what that was like?
Oh man, that'd be great. Yeah, okay, that's what I want. I want summer vacation.
Okay, new expansion. You open
summer
it up.
Vacation.
Every WoW player gets summer vacation. Blizzard has enough money for that, right?
Yeah, they do.
They can buy everybody's summer vacation.
Okay, going back to an actual thing. I would like... Well, I know it's stupid, but no, I would like a lot of cool mount diversity and, like, unique mounts.
Okay.
I feel like they kind of added that in, especially with the Argent Crusade or Argent Tournament. How there are the different faction mounts in there, and then they're like, "Oh, we screwed up. Here's another set of them," and stuff like that as well. I like the proto drakes. I like how it was just a unique way to get all the different ones, all the different colors and stuff. How some of them you couldn't get after essentially the what the ahead of the curve achievement would have been, like in Naxxramas, like how you can't get the plagued one or the black one anymore or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that sort of stuff, just because, I mean, yeah, I collect mounts and everything, but just going through and finding them and everything like that is really neat. I'm not as big a fan of like super rare mobs like the Time Lost Proto Drake, but just different things like that are really neat, as well as some really, yeah. Oh, and then last but not least, really cool story bits in game. Like, yeah, Wrathgate's great, and I agree with you on that. But also, like, if you were Alliance, how you got to do that Arthas cave where you found Frostmourne.
Yeah.
Like storytelling like that, great stuff.
Yeah, I'm having such a hard time nailing down things that, because it's kind of all of Wrath of the Lich King, and it actually is a lot of what we were just talking about. It was a lot of, I had the time to invest in it. Like, I had the time to raid way more frequently, so of course, like, Ulduar means more than most. I was able to devote way more time to raiding and doing that. We were all leveling up together, which meant doing those dungeons was super easy because we could do those together because we were all playing all day and all night at the same time. Like,
Yep.
It was a case of, hey, we're all going through Howling Fjord together. Now we're all at the dungeon roughly at the same time. Let's run.
So hey, let's go do the dungeon. Yeah. So don't shush me on that.
I wasn't shushing you on that. My point was that I had a completely different point and you were talking over me. So I think that it's tough to figure out where exactly the expansion did right versus where it was right place, right time for me.
Well, let's go with what's your maybe top 2 memories from it that don't involve time with friends.
I don't know.
I mean, we've already got Wrathgate in World of Warcraft, the Homer.
Oh, I got the most important feature, Ben. Mounts riding on top of mounts, riding on top of mounts.
That was pretty dang good.
Stackable mounts. Bring them back to the game.
I still got those screenshots hidden somewhere too.
I like that you hid them. You're like,
well, okay, they're on my hard drive. That's all I know.
No, that's not the real one, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good that you could mount on top of a jousting mount while you were on a mount.
Oh, I know. How about the Kelduar or Keldalar questline?
That was cool.
Yeah.
I would be down for something like that again. And honestly, this is going to be a controversial pick because I've had people multiple times say they hate this about Lich King. The ever-looming presence of the Lich King, I thought, was a fantastic part of that expansion.
That was absolutely great.
So,
yeah.
Especially when you see it in the context of the full story. This is why I've never really agreed with the sentiment of, oh, he shows up too much. Is that by the end you find out that he wanted you to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there to stop you right then and there, because the thing I constantly hear people say is like, it just made him a weaker villain that he shows up and he's never able to just stop you right there. He didn't want to. Like, his overall plan was to see who of all the heroes that made it to Icecrown would get to him and then turn those people into Death Knights.
Yeah. See, that whole RP that happens when you're fighting the Lich King, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like, hey, look, everything. I'm still alive. He didn't kill me.
Yeah, he doesn't kill anybody now. It's really funny.
Yeah. Oh, man. The first time that he didn't actually kill someone was we were doing a FERT run through there, and Tetsumi was the only one who lived. And we were all like, oh, my God, he's alive. Like, freaking out. It was amazing. Like, to the point where I almost started composing a folk tale of the day that Tetsumi lived.
Yeah.
I mean, it like, seriously, it just blew our minds that was even possible, much less it happening.
Yeah. And then I would go in and I would try to make it happen by using the right cooldowns at the right time, and you could do it, but the timing window was short, and now just everybody survives.
Yeah, now it's cool.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, Arthas.
Hello.
That tickles.
He's like, you did well. I was like, thanks, I still am.
Hey, you have 1 hit point. Just stop talking.
Yeah.
Can
Uh,
anyone use the cursive on Dingledork over there?
yeah, I like it. I
Yeah.
I think he should be in it more. All right,
Okay.
let's get to
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Cataclysm.
Um. Well, one of my most memorable things from Cataclysm, it just goes to a quest line that I really enjoyed, and that was the whole Alexstrasza stuff in the Twilight Highlands. Like how you go through, she fights Deathwing, like that whole story aspect of it, and then later on you go and wipe out the Black Dragons. That's kind of like oh, this got really, really heavy.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the quest lines that like I really enjoy and I think is really cool because I've always had a huge fascination with the different dragon flights and everything like that. And having Alex Straza, who's like, yeah, I'm the life binder, all life is precious and everything, now go kill all of them. It's kind of a twist.
I have a guilty confession to make. I
Okay.
don't know anything about that storyline
Oh, really?
because I was so disinterested by the time we got to that place in Cataclysm that I know I've gotten Lore Master there, but I still feel like I missed quests, and I certainly stopped reading quest text at a certain point and just didn't pay attention. Like, I remember seeing Alex Strauza and Deathwing fight. I do remember that. But
Okay.
I don't I don't remember any of it. I stopped
Oh
reading.
man.
I stopped reading it, and I think it was at about the time where you go through the whole orc crap down at the bottom, and then you're
Yeah, there's
working
a
your
ton of
way
work crap
up into the mountains,
in
and
the
then
mountains.
I was done. So the thing that happened with me on Cataclysm is that was when I started trying to run dungeons, and I discovered what
Oh.
they had done to dungeons. And like I just said, Wrath of the Lich King, it was on my list of favorite things. Cataclysm, I hated dungeons in Cataclysm
Mhm.
because it was the exact opposite. I had no idea how long I was going to be in there. It was a nightmare of trying to work with people that I very quickly learned I didn't want to interact with.
Yeah.
And I hated that entire
And then if you got Grim
experience.
Batal, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah, and hey, guess what? My first one was Grim Batal.
Oh.
So that was my welcome to it, and I was like, done.
Yep. On top of that, well, actually, you go first in case you can't figure out a thing to add from Cataclysm.
A changing world. I have
Okay.
always said that, like, one of the things, if I was going to make an MMO today, I would try to get as far away from the new continent every expansion as possible. Because one of the things that we talked about when we were talking about Classic WoW was this notion of when the world gets bigger and bigger, you have to find ways to traverse it quicker, and it also
Mhm.
becomes emptier and emptier.
Yeah.
So I think by updating places that already exist and putting new content within stuff that already exists is a good way to refresh it and make it exciting again, like what Cataclysm did. But the problem with Cataclysm is it updated those zones, and now we've got the update of those zones, and they're probably never going to get touched again.
Mhm.
Like, and they're always going to be in this weird post-Cataclysm state unless they go back to them for some other reason down the line.
So you want a living world.
Yes.
I'm with you on that.
So that's what I would take.
Also, the Molten Front. That was some cool content.
I
That's
love
some really
that
cool content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That was probably my favorite. One of my favorite, like, daily hubs that has ever been done in the game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That goes back to my Burning Crusade thing of, having just daily content to do.
Man, even just little things like the little rocks that you would jump on and then they would crumble eventually.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so
Or
cool.
or
Like,
getting the quest from the nature dryad. She's all like, "Oh, I love everything," and you go and save bears and throw them onto a trampoline and just like little things like that. And you get it. Do you remember? You get an achievement by like throwing a bear at one of the core hounds, like throwing a turtle at something else, and then
Yep.
I think like throwing a nut at something or whatever, you get an achievement for that. It's silly and goofy, and it was just like heartwarming at the same time.
So, all right. I liked the Molten Front. I thought that was all right. Although I'm gonna also admit there, I didn't finish it. I think I unlocked everything, but like I was very much on the path of I want all the achievements, and I never did. Once we got to like you've made all the progress in, I did, for lack of a better word, burn out a bit on it.
Oh, see what you did there.
But I had a good time getting up to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next? Pandaria?
Yep.
Do you want to go? Because I totally know what I want.
Everything.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm good.
No, I'm going to take the living, breathing world. Like,
that's what I was going to take.
Yeah, jump in here before Ben gets in. No, much like Pandaria, now we are in perfect harmony. It was so good. It was so good that Pandaria felt like a place. And I don't think outside of classic WoW there has ever been a time where I felt like I was going to a place more than with Pandaria.
Yeah, so much so. I mean, one of the great things is, and in fact, I'm going to just kind of tack onto this as mine. And not only was it a living, breathing world, but it made the rest of Azeroth feel like it was part of that world, because later on in the expansion, you actually went back and did things in proper Azeroth, like the patch 5.2 or 5.1. That I definitely want in our next expansion is patch 5.1. But it had you doing really cool things and going around the world and doing stuff. Like, I think one of the best times I ever had was when I was going through, I can't think of the Night Elf City right now. It's Thursday, folks. Just sorry, but Darnassus. Haha, figured it out. Anyway, so when you're sneaking through Darnassus to get the bell, and I'm just like, oh, it's an instance version, whatever. Okay, cool. And then all of a sudden I saw a player running through it. I'm like, oh, I'm in the real Darnassus. This is really cool. Like, it was just something that was just amazing and cool. And, it wasn't phased. And the story progression that they gave us through that whole, patch was great. But even more so, so how you said how you liked having the Lich King just, kind of in your face a lot of the time and being there. One of the things I loved about Pandaria is the fact that the villain was there the entire time, but it led up to him being more of a villain.
Yeah.
And that's something that I found, very intriguing about the storyline in that, because we went into it with the whole like, oh, that's the Shah, you got to worry about the Shah and stuff. And I mean, we had suspicions that, oh, something's going to happen where we got to take care of Garrosh. And I think maybe it was leaked at some point around BlizzCon or something like that. But even so, seeing the progression of the story going up through that and stuff, just, I don't say it often, but I really feel like Pandaria was a perfect expansion. There was so much in there. Well, maybe not perfect, because the tail end was a little long.
I was gonna say there's some post 5.1 patches that I didn't like. So much. Like 5.2 and 5.3.
But overall, I gotta say that it's probably my favorite expansion.
Wow,
there's so much in it. Yeah.
All right.
Like, Lich King is great, and don't get me wrong, I love it. And it's like okay, like Pandaria, like Lich King's just like right there.
Yeah.
But Pandaria is my favorite expansion.
He put up two hands to indicate that they were very close to one another.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh right, podcasting.
Yeah. Oh, it's here, and then it's like right here.
He's now indicated two things that were further apart for comedic value.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just,
yeah. So yeah,
bring everybody on board.
Pandaria, pretty much we both agree. It's just there's so much in that expansion that they did right.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the fun one. Warlords of Draenor. I'm gonna go first.
Dang it! If you take what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be pissed.
I don't think I will. I don't think I'm gonna take what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Yrel.
Oh, dang, yeah, she was great.
There you go.
We need to see more of her.
The portal reopens. Here she comes, and then it closes again, and nobody speaks of it.
Wait, did she stay there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. That really sucks. We
I
could
know.
totally use her in the fight against the Legion.
They basically, here's the true travesty of Warlords of Draenor. We sent through a cool character in Vindicator Murad. He gave his life over there, and they didn't give a shit back. We lost out on this deal so bad. It was a real ripoff.
Yeah, and we lost half of Velen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other young Velen.
Yeah, we lost Velen too.
Yeah, but yeah, Murad was really cool. Like, I actually really liked Alliance characters in that expansion. That's something that I think is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So that's mine. Urel.
Okay.
Portal opens, Urel comes through. She's like, I thought you guys might miss me. And we were like, we did. And then she stayed.
Yeah. Just that's it. Where were you? Hey, look over there. It's a quest. Oh, okay. Speaking of quests, though, mine is the questing experience. Because if there was something that was good in Warlords, it was that questing experience. I really enjoyed it.
Checks out.
Let's move on to another expansion.
I agree. Yeah, let's do that as quickly as possible.
So Legion.
Legion. There's a lot.
I absolutely love the artifact weapons. It's been one of the greatest things that's come to World of Warcraft in years, I would say. Not only is it, like we discussed before, kind of a new way to get abilities and talents and stuff like that, but, and you've mentioned it on the show many times before, you don't have to worry about, getting a new weapon. And, as some classes you pointed out before, you need new weapons in order to actually be viable throughout an expansion. And having to constantly upgrade them and stuff, it makes it a little tough to do. But the artifact weapons stop that. But even more so, they tapped into more abilities and everything like that. And if it wasn't for the grind, I would say that it is definitely the best addition that Legion has brought us.
Yeah, I would say that I like the way Legion has opened up the world and the order with which you can do things. You can kind of go at your own pace. I would like to see that continue on and expanded further, and I don't know.
I got news for you.
Well, yeah, they are doing it, and that's the nice thing about some of this stuff is like some of this stuff we say, hey, we can do, we would like to see this continue forward, and they're gonna. But artifact weapons are going away, and that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So that is a bit of a bummer. Although, can I make I know this isn't a prediction episode, but
Ooh.
I'm going to make a prediction for Battle for Azeroth.
Okay.
They talked about this system, this gear system, where you were going to be able to unlock traits within gear or something like that. I don't think that makes it through. I don't think that's going to be in the new expansion.
Because from what it seems like it's the Netherlight Crucible, but for like a couple pieces of gear.
I could be very wrong on this because I know I'm taking a look at a major feature that they're like, this is in the expansion, it's a big deal.
Path of the Titans.
But the fact that they had like 3 panels during that during that BlizzCon to talk about this, and I still don't understand how the system works, I think that hits the cutting room floor.
Or they're gonna reiterate it so many times.
It will look like something completely different.
Yeah. Which, if it does come through, it's going to be that. I'm kind of in agreement with you. I mean, heck, if we're wrong, then they better have a really good tutorial with it.
Yeah, because I still don't understand how it works.
Like I said, I really think that it's that it's like the Netherlight Crucible of, oh, well, I can choose between these 2 abilities on this piece of gear.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's going to be like that, which I figured out the Netherlight Crucible at a point. I was like, oh, I get it now.
Oh, I need to look at the 3rd row before I pick my first 2.
It took me a minute, but I got there. I figured it out.
Like, I
Um,
ultimately want this thing over here, but the one on the left really sucks. So I guess I have to take the sucky one to get the thing I want.
but I mean, if there's one like super very like positive thing that Blizzard does is they have a tendency to cut things if they can't find the fun in it. And if you
Mhm.
can't even explain to me how it works, I have a hard time believing it's going to be that much fun. And so that's why right now it's on my list of I don't think this makes it through. I think this is a
Yeah.
system that's going to go.
Yeah. One thing that I'm really happy is gone, and I've praised it for expansions now, and that's reforging. I'm still so happy that that's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my weird aside as I was thinking about the future and the new systems and stuff coming. That was one where I continue to be like, I don't think this is coming through. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
that more on
You
prediction
know,
shows
you
and
know
stuff
what?
like that.
I think it'll be amazing if that's your favorite feature.
It could. I
It's
mean, look,
possible.
I have a long-standing history of being like, Meh, Garrosh in Heroes of the Storm. I hate Garrosh. He's the worst character ever. Oh, I love playing Garrosh. He's so fun.
Or let's
Um,
bring it back to WoW. The grappling hook's the worst thing ever.
mm-hmm.
Oh, but it is again now. Dang it.
Yeah,
That's not a
except
good
they
example.
broke it. But for a while there, for a glorious moment, the grappling hook was the greatest thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'm not going to make any claim that my predictions are super accurate. Occasionally I get right, but a lot of times the opposite happens.
Well, look, a broken clock is right twice a day, John.
That's right. So we'll see what happens. I think I would take from Legion their world quest type stuff. I
Yeah.
liked that a lot. It was very well done. Um, it was pretty great.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, the fact that they kind of opened up the world, and I mean, granted, they did give us kind of some quests that we've done before and everything, but it was still something that was, new and exciting and gave us access to, a lot of different gear and artifact power and a bunch of different other things that helped us kind of level up.
Yeah, I just think that maybe they need to find more interesting rewards and things to tie to it, and it'll be perfect. So
Yeah.
that's what I'd
Like
like to see.
titles.
Oh, titles, you say?
It's a thing that they have in WoW, John. I don't know if you know about them or
It
not.
seems like the easiest thing.
Oh yeah, totally. Overall though, gosh, there's so much in Legion, and that's the kind of the tough thing too. They've learned a lot, and they've taken a lot of some of these things that we've, talked about and either improved upon it or just, kept going forward with them. So it's hard to narrow down Legion, but I gotta say, Legion also great expansion.
Yeah.
Pandaria, Wrath, Legion, same level
Same level as
as Wrath.
as Wrath.
Oh yeah,
Oh, so
definitely.
you're saying there's a tie for second place?
Yeah. Oh, definitely,
Ooh,
definitely.
it's high praise.
Um, you know what? I'm kind of done with new classes until they either have some sort of hybrid class or give everybody like a fourth spec, except for druids because they already have it. Um, I'm kind of good for now. I mean, they're gonna keep bringing them in because that's just what happens.
I
But in
like
our expansion,
I like new classes.
as long as it's something cool and fun and interesting and not just like kind of shoehorned in.
I think the hardest part about new classes, that I'm gonna tell to the person who plays a monk primarily.
Hmm.
I think the hardest part about new classes is they get a really good place in the story for the expansion they're introduced in, and they have a hard time finding their footing going forward. And I think one of the most positive things Legion did was by making it a focus on class content, you got to feel cool about your class again.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
agree with you on that.
Death Knights went from being the most important thing in Lich King to why are you guys still around? Like I just imagine every party like a Death Knight like just creeping up on them and just death, and you just look over and you're like, "Oh, are you guys still here? What do you do now?
Hey guys.
What's your purpose? Well, what are you guys up to? What's going on?" But things like Legion gave them an opportunity to suddenly feel relevant and like they were doing cool things again. So actually, there you go. There's one of my big ones. Class content.
Yeah.
Which is also
I'm
going away.
with
Look,
yeah.
I'm trying to stay positive about Battle for Azeroth, but I would be lying to you if I didn't say that there were some concerns, because a lot of my favorite things are on the going away list.
Yeah, but you know what? It's just going to go away until they realize, oh, we shouldn't have let it go away, and then they'll bring it back in our expansion, in the Homer.
Yeah. I would also add new races.
See, I'm more for new races than I am for new classes.
I think, I mean, I know it's a ton of work. This is not titles. This is not me saying, oh, it's easy. Just, just do whatever you want. But at the same time, like, there's so many cool races out there. Every time they do a new expansion, every time, without fail, I look at it and I go, well, that needs to be the new race that we get.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
so, oh, go ahead.
What's the one that they showed for Battle for Azeroth? I think it's like goblins, but they're little foxes?
Something like that? Oh, that needs to be a race.
Yes!
And then I need a fox mount to ride it.
No, that's gross.
No, it's different.
That'd be like
it's like a Tauren riding a cow.
That'd be like if you found a world where there were like weird four-legged humans and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna ride that.
Well, look, you know what? The world of Disney has that with Goofy and Pluto.
It doesn't matter.
I know. This is Azeroth we're talking
Just
about.
because Disney did it doesn't excuse weird behavior.
I know.
Although when I play Heroes, I do make Greymane ride a wolf because I think it's funny.
Nice. Okay, so speaking of races, you know how we had the WoW anniversary like 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Malachi ended up, using some of the Time Warp tokens and bought some Murloc wands. And so during raid, randomly, I'll be a Murloc, and it is the greatest thing ever, John.
So Murlocs need to be a new race.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
But here's the thing. Because of the new Kara Opera House, they have a dance animation now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fantastic. Have you seen this?
I have not.
Oh. So basically just picture West Side Story, and that's how they dance. They do like the double snap, and then they do a spin, and then like and their arms are sticking out and everything like that, and it's great. But what's even better is like when I jump up and my arms are like whoa, like I'm waving them in the air, like almost a Kermit flail, and it's so great. And I need to play a Murloc.
I think they're coming. I don't think we're far off. They were high up on my predictions for this coming expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the attention they paid to them. Like, I just felt like they were laying the groundwork. And who knows? They keep saying that, like, these are the starting allied races. There will be more. Who knows?
Then we have our dream of them just kind of showing up and being like, nah. Like, okay. That's just the intro quest for them.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sylvanas is just like looking down and she's like, you can't be serious. And they're just like, ah. They got a little sword.
One of them pulls out a little bow and shoots it.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. All right, well, we've made the perfect expansion.
Yes, that is the perfect expansion. World of Warcraft, the Homer.
Yeah, the Homer. We're in complete agreement. There's been no conflict or disagreements.
Not at all.
We think this is the perfect expansion, and we put our stamp of approval on it.
Yes, the Azeroth Roundtable official expansion.
Yep, the Homer.
Yep, exactly. So, John, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I'm glad that we were able to, even though we had to reschedule, still do an episode this week.
Yeah.
So far, our streak is still going on because, that's right, every single week since we've started, we've done a show.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Until next episode, though, John, where can people find you?
Hey, if you want to hear more from me, you can follow me on Twitter. That's at John_Jagger, or you can catch me talking about Heroes of the Storm on Core.
Core!
which is the Heroes of the Storm podcast I do as part of the Frog Pants Network. You can find out more about that at heroesforyou.com. And because, it's just so fun to do, there's a new fun project coming up that I'm so excited for.
For core or for just a side thing?
A side thing.
Oh.
And I think all I can say right now is I don't think I can say anything.
Yeah,
but
don't say anything.
I guess Scott did tease that he's working on something with it's Scott, me, Bo, Kristen, and Kyle. So it's our team league team. But we're doing
which by the way, I watched the video of where you guys stole Cho'Gall. That was a great match.
It was so fun. Yeah, that was really good. So, okay, we'll plug that as well. Team League every Saturday and Divinity 2 every Sunday at twitch.tv/Kyle Ferguson. There's a lot of fun to be had, including us stealing a Cho'Gall.
Oh my gosh, seriously, that video, like I saw you tweet about it. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I watched it and then I'm like, oh, if they've got 2 picks left, they got it. And then like you said it and I'm like, oh yes, do it.
Yeah, we had somebody say, I've never been yelling, do it more in a video in my life. Nice. Yeah, it was a good time. Ben.
Yes, John.
You are also a cultivator of fine content.
Oh, thanks. That's one of the nicest things you've ever said.
And I think you should tell people where they can partake in such content.
All right. Well, I mean, best place to find me and find out what I'm doing is actually to follow me on Twitter.
Twitter! I'm
I'm
doing it right.
Yeah, good job. Eludra and I do a show called Battle Pets.
Show!
Where we talk about battle pets in the world of Warcraft. We're going to be recording this weekend and getting back into the swing of things. I'm looking forward to that. But even more so, hey John, I did a little thing on Twitch a while ago and put it up on YouTube. It was an entire run through the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yes.
The good ones. And there's a bit of DLC.
Andromeda.
Yeah, no Andromeda. I'm not going to be doing Andromeda. I'm not going to play that game again. Like maybe in 10 years. I don't know. But anyways, so there's a bit of DLC that I've never played before. It's the Omega DLC. Well, I bought that and I downloaded it. And I will be streaming that sometime soon. I don't know exactly when yet. But you can follow that on twitch.tv/Ben Bumhofer. That's with 2 F's.
So what you're saying is you're going to tell them one more story about the Shepherd.
Yes, I'm going to tell them one more story about the Shepherd.
Great.
Yeah. After the last story I told them was the Citadel story.
That's to me the canonical ending, but I'm happy you're going to do more.
Yeah, me too. Mainly because after Andromeda, I'm like, what? Was Mass Effect really good? Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, never before played. I'm going to continue with the idea of it's the Renegade Shepherd. And then I'll probably do another playthrough with my Paragon character, even though, they're the same class. Doesn't matter. But, I want to see both sides of that. So we'll be doing that at some point. Plus, of course, there is more Ben versus Never, which we still need to finish Super Mario World. Because of the holidays and stuff, we've been busy, and due to feeling sick here and there and timing wise and stuff, we'll be getting back to that sometime soon.
It's a lot of yelling in those, but it's fun, and
there is a lot of yelling in those.
I feel like there is a good rapport with the chat. I feel like you guys have a good rapport with your chat room. So
we try to.
When he starts that up again, I'd recommend being live because.
Yeah. Plus, we need to figure out another game to play once we're done with Super Mario World.
What about Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger is not a 2-player game, John.
It is if one person plays and the other person watches.
Right. Anyways, this show, though, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. If you have any questions, comments, want to tell us what the Homer would be, you can always send those to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And, of course, all of our episodes are found on AzerothRoundtable.com, as well as on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Alpha Geek Radio, just basically anywhere that podcasts are found.
That's right. And this show is made possible by you all who are supporting us through Patreon. Go to patreon.com/AzerothRT to support us. That's what David H. just did. We appreciate his patronage. But
Oh,
as always, we say a big thank you to the Murloc Club. That's Mimi H. and Alicia A. Avarik W. Aaron. Simon. Thank you so much for being part of the Murloc Club. And a special Ben Makes a Sound for you. To you.
yes. And with that, I always forget to plug our Discord. Go to AzerothRoundtable.com, click on our Discord link, join us. We talk about stuff. Yeah. But other than that, this has been Azeroth Roundtable. Thank you very much for listening. We always appreciate your listenership. It is very meaningful to me and John.
Yes.
We love you. Big hugs. And with that, be good to each other, and we'll catch you next time.
All right.
And that's a show!
We did a long pause, so that must be a show. Woo!
It's a show!
Magic Gremlin in the chat. Yeah, I actually was just talking to Aaron about getting back to it. He wants to start a writing podcast. He told me he was going to. It's just so hard for us to schedule. Like it is the hardest show in the universe to schedule. But I think about it every year, especially around October. I'm like, oh, I gotta freaking do horror month again. It's so much fun to do horror month.
You know, if anything, just do a month of horror.
You mean just like it doesn't have to be October?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be October. Just, you know what? Set a goal to do just a month. And then if more comes from that, great. Because I, for one, really enjoyed that show.
It was a super fun show to do. It was just extremely stressful. Mm-hmm. It was like, you know that feeling when you have homework due the next day and you haven't done it yet? It was like, what if you had that feeling every week on top of a job and everything else you're doing in life as an adult?
Yeah, that might be a little tough.
It was hard, but it was so fun. I really liked doing it. And so, I don't know. Aaron and I want to do it. Here's the reality. If I ever get to a point where I can quit my job or go part-time with my job, I would immediately, first thing on my list would be bringing back Parallel Words or a writing show of some kind.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is and this is me being incredibly selfish, I just think you need to write more.
I absolutely
mainly because
do.
I love your work. And this isn't just me, your friend. This isn't just me like I'm pandering to you because we're on a show together or anything. No, I genuinely really like your work. And more of it is always a good thing.
Well, thank you. It's very kind of you to say. You're right. I need to write more because I haven't written anything in a long time. I'm out of practice, which is another reason why I should bring it back because holy crap.
Yeah.
It's so hard when you're out of practice.
It was a dark and stormy... Shit.
No, I did it.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah, I need to get back to it. Maybe I need to listen to the Dresden Files again. I always want to write after listening to the Dresden Files.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time to go through all of those again.
It's a very good idea.
So, anyway. But yes, I would love to do it. Chat wicked. Aw, now hug.
I'll do it next time I see you.
He probably will. Ben's a hugger.
I do. If you see me out at BlizzCon or Nerdtacular or anything like that, and you want a hug, just ask.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger.
He will do it. He will hug people.
Yeah, in fact, last time at BlizzCon, there was someone who was like, I heard you give really good hugs. And then I give him a hug. He's like, oh my God, that's so great. And then found me like 3 other times to get another hug.
Okay, I will say this. I'm not a hugger. I'm getting better at it. I always feel weird when I do it.
That's true.
I'm getting okay, but for a while there, it was real iffy. I felt like I was ending up in a lot of armpits and a lot of places I didn't want to be unintentionally because I was unpracticed. But Ben is legitimately a good hugger. He really is good at it. It's like a weird skill. I feel weird saying that, but like he's somehow mastered it. He's the opposite of me. You don't end up in weird places. That's a weird thing to say about a hug. But
yeah, well, you know what? You write well and I hug good. So
we all have our skills.
Exactly.
Anyway, there you go. Ben, you're going to probably be giving out a lot of hugs, and hopefully we haven't built it up too much.
Hopefully not.
But anyway, that's going to be the show. We'll probably call it there, because I need to go to bed again soon.
Yeah, I do too.
Although
this whole, you know what, this Thursday thing is for the birds. I don't know.
Yeah. I traditionally don't like Thursday. It's traditionally this day is BS day.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've talked about that before. Like, what's the worst day of the week? And the answer is Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Oh, you've been there in Slack, right? When we've had
I have.
Conversations about Thursday. I felt like I had a support group when I think it was Randy who started it. He just like randomly showed up in Slack to diss on Thursday really bad. And I was like, oh, sweet. I have a kindred spirit in Randy. We're going to talk about Thursday. And then a bunch of people joined in. I was like, yes, yes. There are more people that know.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the worst. It's not Friday yet. And it's just like, it's that last hurdle you have to get over. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, the shorthand way to say it is it's like celebrating Christmas Eve. It's just not done.
Exactly.
You can be excited about Christmas Eve. That's fine. I'm okay with people being excited about Friday. But getting excited for the day before Friday is absolutely... no, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, like Daz Ladorn says, Wednesday's hump day. That's right. You have something to celebrate, even though I hate the word hump day. Although the only thing I like about it is that one Geico commercial.
Yeah, there's the commercial. New comic books come out on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It makes it a pretty good day.
That is pretty good.
I don't know. We're seeing a lot of hate for Monday in the chat, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time... I don't know. I think I go into Monday with momentum.
I'm okay with Mondays because Monday's usually a work from home day for me.
Oh.
So like it could definitely be a lot worse. And I understand that I have it way better than most people.
I wish I could work from home.
Yeah.
I want to push for it. My job does not require me to be there. At all. But I'm worried that if I told them that, they'd be like, well, maybe your job doesn't require you at all.
Yeah. It does.
I'd be like, Parallel Words is coming back.
For as long as I can pay for it.
That would be my final words as I'm going out the door.
Patreon.com/PW.
Yep.
Solomio, what day is it? I don't know how far behind they are. Hump day. We'll just say that.
He hasn't said it yet.
I know.
You're taking.
Well, I hope that's the day. Oh, crap.
He's like, it's Thursday. Deal with it.
Only for 2.5 more hours. Oh, more shirt ads, then you'll be set.
Yeah. We should do a shirt again. We need to find a place that lets you do limited run shirts.
Yeah, I need to talk to Jules.
They only print when people order it, and I'll come up with
I think that's what they have with Torn Think Tank, but I'm not sure.
I'll come up with a new logo.
Yeah, we'll have the classic, and then we'll have new logo. And then just some other random thing. We need to have our Manchurian logo up there.
Oh, I forgot about the Manchurian thing. Oh my gosh, we've never told that.
We're not going to either.
All I want to know is in the chat room. No, we shouldn't even ask. No one will want it. I want it.
No. We're going to put it there, and I bet you we will sell some.
I just want a shirt that has a manatee on it
In the Vitruvian Man.
in the style of the Vitruvian Man, and it says the Manchurian Candidate on it.
Yeah, see?
Nobody
As
knows.
Ladoran says, do it.
It's
So
a
yeah.
completely 100% logical
It's a
joke.
3-person inside joke.
It's not a totally inside joke. You just need... Well, I guess that's the definition of an inside joke. I was like, you just need to know the story.
You need to have been there for it, totally. Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Like,
We'll look
everyone
into it.
I've told the story to has said they would buy the shirt, so that's 100% sell-through value.
Oh, and then in the description, we'll just have, it's like Animorphs.
This shirt is just like Animorphs.
Pieces morphing into Murloc self. Yes!
Did you hear that?
No, what was it?
Sarah said, oh, you need to have your faces morphing into Murlocs.
Oh my gosh, like an Animorphs cover, but with Murlocs. Yes, holy crap, dude.
John's all for it.
Yes!
That would be so good. I'm not good enough with anything to do that,
Oh
but
my god.
I would hire
Look, there's got to
somebody
be
to
computer
make that
programs
shirt.
that'll be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Oh my gosh. That would be the best shirt in the world.
And the second is the description for those, also like Animorphs.
Just like Animorphs. All right. Well, we've got a lot of shirt ideas now.
Like 5.
We'll get on that. Thank you everybody for joining us for this creative brainstorming that we've had.
Yes.
It's been very good to have you, and we appreciate you all being here. And
You're the best.
you know, we're not to the weekend like we normally are, but we hope you have a fantastic one when you get there.
In the meantime, bye everybody.
Yeah, bye everybody.